What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the Dread Pirate Dr. Disaster. And one thing I will never do is apologize for asking questions whenever something new gets released. And I will never be the sort of person who passively consumes a new video game just because my corporate overlords told me to.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
Yeah, that ain't me. Not by a long shot. You see, with the trailer for The Witcher 4, as I mentioned in my video yesterday, I have questions as to how, canonically speaking, a grown-up was able to complete the Trial of Grasses so that Ciri could mutate into a Witcher. And for that matter, I hear tell that women weren't able to survive the trial at all. For everyone out there who immediately want to get butthurt and use the go-to defense for this game, claiming that I must be some sort of sexist, I sincerely have no problem with Ciri being the lead in this game. She just shouldn't be a Witcher, because she was plenty powerful enough in her own right. And they are robbing this unique character of what made her special just so she can copy the male character before her. This is basically an insult to the entirety of females, telling them that they have to be carbon copies of dudes.
How could you? I'm a woman.
Yeah, Ciri shouldn't be a Witcher. And while we're at it, it would be swell if they didn't alter her cheekbones in order to make her look like a dude in a wig.
That's a woman?
Yesterday when I talked about this, I heard from a bunch of people defending Ciri's design, and that's cool. We don't have to agree on everything. I won't ask you to agree with me blindly, the same way I won't just go along with CDPR's new take on the series, and I certainly won't be won over by people whose natural instinct in response to dissent is to silence it. Because we are getting reports that CD Projekt Red is banning people over on the Steam forums for asking questions. It turns out CDPR likes its old bad boy image, and they don't want to be questioned. They want people to blindly view them like this.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
But in reality, by silencing people who dare to question their decisions, this is how CD Projekt Red comes off these days.
Look, I came here to chew bubblegum and pack boxes, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Look up. Oh my god, I swallowed it. Is that bad?
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We just reached another subscriber milestone, so it is time to ask the burning question on everyone's minds.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow? Yo!
We are now boasting 106,000 space pirate a-holes in this Buccaneer crew, and as is customary on the channel, with every 1,000 subscribers we add a new ship to our fleet in order to house the new guys. This time, we added the Shadow Interceptor from the old British sci-fi show UFO. It was recommended to me by one of you. If anyone out there has any suggestions for future ships, drop them into the comment section below and I'll put them on the list. Super chats get prioritized, of course, and also, I did add an alphabetical list of all the ships already in the fleet for your reference, but in any case, I just want to thank all of you out there for being here. It means a lot.
I knew it, I'm surrounded by assholes.
Anyways, let's take a gander at this whole Witcher 4 situation with people being banned from the Steam forums. I have a couple of examples I'm going to use to show you what's happening. One of them is from a post that's been making the rounds on social media. Another one is from somebody who emailed me personally to show that they had been banned. By my estimation, both of these instances are people being very tepid in their criticism. They certainly could have been much harsher, but clearly the community managers for the company are simply not interested in engaging with the customers. I miss the old days, I gotta say, when a company's primary objective was to make money by appealing to as many customers as possible, and they did that by simply making a product that was just good. They didn't worry about trying to put out any messaging or anything like that. They didn't worry about culture war stuff. They just made a product. These days, a lot of businesses, especially in the entertainment industries, seem to have morphed into this weird business model where they make something that appeals more to a niche group. These days, that niche group has fallen under the buzzword term modern audience. But anyhow, they make something for this niche group, and then rather than engage with customers who have issues or complaints, they take people criticizing them and use it as some sort of badge of honor, showcasing their victimhood at the hands of the outgroup, which isn't part of the modern audience. In other words, these businesses alienate certain customers and then use that criticism and questions that come from those customers who don't like their stuff to appeal to their niche target audience even harder. It's really odd and doesn't seem to have worked out too well for the industry in the past few years. But anyhow, let's look at these few examples of what we've got going on here. This first one I found on social media. At the top, you see the notification that this person was banned from the Witcher 2 community hub. And the post they cited said, they made Ciri an ugly, generic, self-insert 25% male. The story they chose for this trailer is yet another oppressed women fanfic. They already ruined the lore because Ciri is not a Witcher, never underwent the mutations, so it makes no sense to give her Witcher eyes and abilities. Just another DEI-infested fanfic game from people that don't know the original material, don't care, and want to ruin what you enjoy. We have seen this pattern again and again over the last 10 years, and now I will say this, I would have phrased things a bit differently. As I said earlier, I have no problem with Ciri being a lead in this game. I just have questions, and frankly, I just think that CDPR was desperate to make Ciri a Witcher. They were so desperate to fit the game into this particular mold that they just said, to hell with it, to hell with all of the lore consequences. I think it would have been a hell of a lot simpler, though, to just call the game Ciri and not The Witcher 4. I think that might have solved a lot of issues. They wouldn't have been so hyper-focused on making this whole thing into a thing. But I digress. The ban reason given underneath that post says, hateful, misogynistic, abusive invective, off-topic culture war spam bait, in addition. Clearly uninterested in any form of civil and or constructive discourse. And I don't know, man, it sure sounds like this person was very interested in discourse. I mean, it turns out that's why people typically post things on forums like this in the first place. No, what it sounds like to me is that this community manager is simply interpreting criticism as hate, which is an awful word that should be stricken from any serious conversations about anything, anywhere. As soon as someone says to someone else, oh, that's hateful, I immediately have no respect for whatever they're saying. It's a get out of this debate for free buzzword that thin-skinned chicken shits use. But let's look at another example of this happening. This screenshot was emailed to me. This person was banned from the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Community Hub. The infraction that caused the banning was extremely mild if you ask me. It says, the new CDPR isn't the one of old that made the game series of The Witcher. Many of the old guard have left that studio and gone to Warhorse or elsewhere, leaving this new generation of DEI, ESG, and politically correct CDPR. This is proven in their hiring practices and what Endymion has proven with his videos. I won't hold my breath, as this is only a cinematic trailer. This shows us nothing of the direction political messages or even gameplay will be like. Remember, they did the same thing for Cyberpunk, and it took years to recover, so before getting hyped, I think we need to take a step back. I fear they are walking the same path as Dragon Age and Star Wars. I just hope I'm wrong. And this is pretty tame. But the community manager banned this person, and the reason given was it's a political post. And I just gotta say, I'm old enough to remember when these progressive schmucks used to argue that everything was political and that there is no being neutral on a moving train and shit like that. If all things are political though, then what the hell is the fuss about here, guys? What's the problem? This fella was voicing concerns and simply told people to take a step back, which is very fair. I mean, after all, this was just a cinematic trailer. For anyone getting really excited about that trailer, may I humbly remind you that we are gamers. These aren't supposed to be movies. I'd like to see what the game portion of the game looks like before I get excited. And in the meantime, I think it's more than fair to ask questions about the lore for the story, considering a lot of it doesn't add up. Maybe it will end up being fine, and maybe it'll end up making all kinds of sense, and I'll look back and go, geez, what were we all worried about? I don't know, but it's fair to ask questions, and it's also fair for those of us who dislike the series design to point that out as well. But I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your thoughts on this whole scenario into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching me, Hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.